Hey everyone, and welcome to my live at 5 today. So we're Wednesday afternoon and it's my weekly live. So today we are going to be talking about let's look at your Facebook groups. So the reason I chose this subject for tonight's live, and depending on where you are, of course, in the world, it might be your morning, is because on my YouTube channel, a lot of you are finding Facebook groups really hard to get your head around. So I thought, what better way to address these issues as to do a live specifically on Facebook groups. So before I dive in, just going to wait for everybody to join me. Do let me know in the chat where you're streaming in from. So let me know if you've got a coffee or you've got a tea or you've got a can of Coke or something like that, and which country you're streaming in from. I'd love to know where you're joining me from this morning or this afternoon or this evening, depending on where you are in the world, because then it'll make it a little bit easier for us to all go for it. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to jump into your Facebook group on the desktop, and then as a bonus, I'm going to jump into your Facebook groups on the mobile, because I think that's super important, because there are so many different things that you can do on your desktop compared to what you can do on the mobile. So I really want to try and sort of like help you out regarding all of these things. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and then we're going to just take a deep dive, and we're going to address about 3 or 4 different issues around actually, you know, getting yourself started on everything within Facebook groups. Just going to put a little bit of ambient music on in the background. Hopefully you can hear that. I'll just turn it up for you a little bit. That's one of the new features inside of Restream. So I'm live streaming to you on Restream, and I think I'm live streaming to about 6 different platforms today. I've chosen, like, I'm on YouTube, I'm on my Facebook page, I'm on my Facebook group. I think I'm even in my Facebook profile, definitely over on LinkedIn Live. So just, you know, let me know that you're joining me, and I'm going to crack on. Okay, so let me share my screen with you. So, and I'm going to just make myself a little bit smaller so that you can see the full screen. Let's just maximize the screen while there's no chat going on. Let's just take the chat off for a minute. Okay, so you can see my Facebook group here. So do let me know in the chat below if you have any questions about your Facebook group, because it's super important, because there are so many issues with Facebook groups at the moment, especially like, I don't know how to invite people to my group, I don't know how to share my group, and all those sorts of things. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to just run through generally what a Facebook group is and how you can control that Facebook group. Now you're seeing my Facebook group, which is over on Facebook, obviously, and this is a free group. So if you want to jump in there, you can jump in by going to facebook.com/groups/stories training, or just type in Instagram, Facebook, video marketing, or my name, and I will pop up. Right, so let's dive into the group, and I'll just run through some of the settings with you. So let me just get it up on the screen so that I can see it. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so that you guys can see it a little bit better. Okay, and if you have any questions, let me know and I will answer them in between each section. So hopefully, just looking at it being resized, yeah, you can see it. Okay, so here we are, Facebook group. Now, there are 2 different types of Facebook group. There are public groups and closed groups, and within those 2 parts of a group there are secret and visible. Okay, so this particular group is closed. In other words, only the people who are members of the group can see the content in the group, but it is visible. In other words, you can search for it and you can find it on Facebook. Okay, so obviously what happens as an admin, so this is the sort of view that you'll get as an admin. This is not the view that you will get as a member. You will get this view only if you're an admin of your group. Okay, so here you can see there's all the circles are the members of the group, and there's the title of the group. And over here, there is the invite button. Now, before I click that invite button, I want to just explain to you about this little drop down here. So when you are running a group on Facebook, there are 2 different ways that you can run the group. You can run the group as yourself, which is your profile, or you can run the group as your, I'm just going to put myself next to it for a second, or you can run your group as your business page. So you can interact between your group as yourself and as your business page. And there are some different complicated resources available to you depending on how you are actually acting inside of your group, or who you're acting as inside of your group. So if I go back to this one and I'll show you. So here inside of the group, you can see that I'm acting as myself, because the profile picture that you see is of me. Here you can see that this is me. And what I want to show you first of all is here, when you see all these people here, and if I click invite, what happens when you invite from within your group as yourself is you get the opportunity to write your friends' names. Now, these have to be friends of yours inside of Facebook. It's a bit mad, really, because you're not always friends with everybody who would like to go into your group for, for different various reasons. You might not want them to be your friend, especially if you're using your Facebook profile for very personal reasons. You might not want to have to friend somebody to invite them into your group. But don't worry, just stay tuned, because I'm going to show you a quick way around that in a moment. Now, that's if you are a friend. Now, you may notice that it says search for friends by name. It doesn't offer search for friends by name or email, which is something that Facebook used to offer. They used to offer the chance for you to search for people by their name and their email address. Now they're only offering you the opportunity to search for them by your name. Now, this is if you are acting as yourself. Okay, so if you're acting as yourself, interacting as your profile, that means you can invite your friends into your group. If you click this drop down and you go to your page, which is here, it changes what your group looks like. Now, there instantly, the group has changed. Okay, and what that means is that the way you interact inside the group has also changed. And that's key to how you utilize your group. Okay, so before I go into why there's a difference, I just want to quickly say hello to Katrina and another Facebook user. So Katrina's watching from Ireland while she's making her dinner, non-stop, I can get you. I don't have a group, but the business page. Okay, so I'll get to those questions in a second. So when you act as your group, as your business page in a group, did you notice the difference? You see what's happened to the group? It's completely changed. What's happened at the top here is that even the members have changed. Okay, and what's showing is the pages as well as some people. And when you click the invite button, it says to invite your page fans. So those people who have liked or followed my business page, I can now invite them to the group if I think that the group is something that they would like to join. Now, when I do invite them, so I will, I can click somebody here. I'd have to go and have a real look. But if I click this person will be sent an invitation, and they'll have 28 days to accept that invitation. And in those 28 days, they will have visibility of what's going on inside of your group. So I personally don't invite that many people like this, because what I find when you invite people to your group without knowing who they are or what they do, or a little bit more about them, because you might know what they do. If they're your friends on Facebook, you're more likely going to know what they do. However, if you're inviting people that have liked your Facebook business page, you don't always know what they do, because they're not your friend. And if they've liked your page as their own page, you don't actually see the person. So personally, I don't invite people to my group by putting them in like I've just showed you. What I do is I invite them by giving them the link to the group. And then that way they have to actually come in and click the join group button, fill out the questionnaire that I have in there. Like there's 3 questions that you can have. They have that option, and then they can decide for themselves whether they want to go into the group. Now, I know that a lot of you like to invite people to your group because you want numbers in your group. But just think about this for a second. If you invite people into your group who don't really resonate with what your business does, then they're not really your target audience. Now, when I do my lives, my name's Anita Wong, for those of you who don't know, and I am a digital marketing strategist, and I am a tech coach, tech expert, tech leader. And one of the things that I've discovered throughout my career as a digital marketer is that you need to connect with the tribe that wants to connect with you. The people who want to be in touch with you and what your business does are the people who you want inside of your tribe, who you want to attract. And if you randomly invite people who you don't know into your group, then you're not attracting your correct tribe, and they're more likely not going to buy from you, because ultimately, I'm going to put my hands up. We're in this for the business. We're in this to put food on our tables, to pay the bills. We're running businesses. We want to attract the right type of clients to our portal so that we can nurture them, get to know them, give them value, give them freebies, give them information like I'm doing now. Give them value, give them something that they can go away and action, because then they become your tribe. They become warm to you, and they get to understand how you tick and how you work. And you also get to understand how they tick and how they work. Okay, so that's how you act between the two different ones. Like, you are acting between one and the other. So I'm going to show you some of the different things you can do to invite people to your group. Before that, I just want to say hello to a few people. So I just want to say hello to Michelle. Thanks for joining me over there on LinkedIn. So that's great. And also Ria is joining me as well. So hi over there on LinkedIn, just popped you up there. Just want to say hello to Katrina. She's joined me from Facebook over from Ireland. So I don't have a group, just a business page. But what are the benefits of a Facebook group? Okay, so we'll go into that in a second. And let me just see who else is joining me. So yeah, so that's perfect. Okay. So groups, that's how you can invite. So if you're acting as your page, you click the invite button and you can invite your fans. If you're acting as yourself, you can invite people who are connected with you on Facebook by their name. Okay, perfect. Now, the benefits of having a group over a page are a number of things. A Facebook business page is a bit like, I'm going to just put me onto the center here so you can see me talking. A Facebook business page is a bit like a high street shop. Where you have the shop window and you can dress the shop window really nicely and everything is pretty in the window, and you stop people and they have a little look in and then they decide whether they want to open the door and come in and check out what's going on. Well, if you imagine your Facebook business page is like that, so you're always putting new stuff on in the window to attract people. You're putting neon signs, you're putting a new update, you're putting a new flyer, you're putting something nice, you're putting a design of something that you've just done. Your Facebook group is a bit like when they've come inside of your shop and you've asked them if they need any help, or you've offered them a cup of coffee, or you've offered them a drink. You've offered them, you want to get to know them a bit more. So your Facebook group is like where you can build a community, where you can get to know people, like in your front room having tea or in the garden having a glass of Pimm's. Your Facebook business page is a bit like your shop window if you had a high street store. So that's the difference between the two. I think having a group is a really good way of nurturing a group of people who are interested in what you are doing, and it gives you the opportunity to be interested in what they're doing as well. Okay, so that's the differences between a Facebook page and a Facebook group. And we've also run over the differences on how we act together as a person on Facebook and as a page on Facebook inside of your groups. So here's my group, and this is me as a person. Now, I want to show you a couple of little areas inside the group that you might not be aware of. So as an admin of the group, your page will look like my page is looking like now. Okay, and you'll have this bar along the left-hand side. As you can see, it's got home, it's got admin assist. I'll tell you about that in a second. It's got members requests, it's got automatic members approval, and so on and so on and so on. Now, one of the questions that I get asked a lot is, okay, so if I can't invite people by their name, I can't invite people by their email, how do I invite people who like my page? Here's how you do it. First of all, you go up to the URL at the top here and you copy that and you make a post on your Facebook business page. and you actually invite people to click on that link and actually actively ask to join your group. Another thing that you can do with this link is that you can put it into your email marketing. So you can email people inside of your email marketing tool. I use ConvertKit, for example. You can send out a bulk email every week to people on your list, and you can invite them to come and join you in your group, where they'll get bonuses such as the opportunity to talk to you, perhaps the opportunity to see what you're doing, maybe get some free training, you know, all those sorts of things. So that's what you can do with that link. Now, it's a little bit different on your mobile phone, and I'm going to show you that in a second, because I think it's really, really important, because a lot of us do a lot of things on our mobile phones, and the desktop is great, but it's not always got the right answers. So copying the link is one way. Inviting by you as a person is another way. Also, what you can do is that you can go to your profile, which is what I do, and down here on the left hand side I have my Facebook business, my Facebook group linked. You see here I've got my Facebook group linked here. So when people click on that, that actually opens up my Facebook group for people to actually join in. So they'll be able to come here when the computer catches up. So as you can see, when it catches up, there you go. So they've gone from my profile, which is me here, there's me, and they've scrolled down and they've looked down here, they've seen, oh look, a Facebook group, and they've been able to jump over. Some people put the Facebook group link in here, which is like here, discover this fit here. This is clickable on the desktop. As you can see, I can click it. I have, however, my landing page here. When I click on my landing page, I have multiple options for people to click on when they come to my search my social page. So as you can see, there's lots of different things here, and there's also a link to my free training in here as well. So you can see that there's lots of different ways you can invite people to your group without actually clicking that invite button. Because adding people to your group automatically is not the right way to grow your group. I can tell you that I have probably 30 different group invites from people who have just invited me to their group, who I will never go into that group because it's not what I'm interested in, but they think that it's okay to just add me to their group randomly and expect me to then join in and get on with it. And that doesn't happen, because that's not where I want to be. That's not my interest. So I just want to sort of like tell you that to do really good Facebook marketing with groups, invite people who want to be invited and give them the opportunity to join your group of their own accord. So tell them about your group, raise the awareness of your group, but don't just put them in your group, because they won't be your target audience and they won't resonate with what you're offering, because they might not want to be in it. And if they're interested in your group and you tell them about your group, then they're going to jump over to your group anyway. Okay, so that's pretty much that little bit done. Now, another question that I had when off my YouTube channel that I wanted to talk to you about was getting the learning zones into your group. So you know, like you've got units which have been renamed to guides. That is something that people sometimes don't know how to find. So what I want to do is I just want to show you quickly how to find the guides and how to make sure that your Facebook group is set up so that you can start your guides. And then after that, I want to jump into my mobile phone and just show you a couple of things you can do on your mobile regarding your group. And then there's one other thing, actually, I want to remind me, is that I want to show you how to add a file to your group, because a lot of people are using groups, you know, you could add a recipe list in it if you were a cooking group, or like me, I'm actually putting together a list of apps and software and tech that I use to help me grow my business. And I know that my group members want that list and are waiting for me to bring that list out. So I could then upload that file into the group for them. Okay, so I just want to check if anyone's got any questions before I jump into the other things. So let's have a little look. Somebody on Facebook has said I agree my group is small, but it is people who are interested in my art. I do VIP special giveaways. Yes, exactly. It doesn't matter how many people you've got in your group. If your group is full of people who are engaged, then that's a perfectly fantastic pineapple jam-packed group that will work for you. Are you seeing me? If you write your name, please, then I'll know, because there's a link that you need to click and I can't find it at the moment. But there is a link that you need to click to let me see your name. So if you write your name, then I'll know who you are. I think I've got an idea who it is because you said that it's art. So I think it's Gail, but let's just see if you let me know. Okay, there's a question here. Do you have to manage the group on laptop? My page looks so different from yours on my phone. No. I'm going to show you on your phone the differences because I think that's super important, because your your phone, the way you manage your group on your phone is different. Yes, I told you. There you go. I told you it was Gail. Ta-da! Gail's an artist. She lives in an amazing house on the coast in America. And the first time I met Gail, we had a phone call conversation with video, and she showed me her view out of her window. Oh my goodness, I am so jealous. My view at the moment, looking out of my window, I can see my cars parked on the drive and another building opposite. Oh, I just so love to live where Gail lives. She just has the beach and the sea and the ocean. Anyway, let's get back to Facebook groups. So let me go into the group and let's just finish off here before I jump into the mobile. So how do you make sure that your group is active for guides? So a guide, just so that if you didn't know, are these things here where you can have different groups, like different units of teaching or learning or updates or posts or stuff like that. So to find out whether you've got this active in your group, you just need to go down here on the left where it says settings and click that. And then what you need to make sure is down here, you keep going down, and here it says add extra features. So if your group type says general, you can change your group type to social learning, which means that the group units or guides, as they are called now, are active already. If you want it to be a general group, but you want the guides active, you can actually just switch them on here. And there is the opportunity to add progress. So in other words, when your students or members of your group are working through the guides, you can see how far they've got through it or not. And you can also host a Q&A, which is quite cool because that means that you can have messenger rooms active in your Facebook group, which means that you can hold like a Zoom meeting in your group without being on Zoom. You actually have like video calling in your group. So these are the added extras, which are super important. And I think those will help you if you're watching this and you've wondered how to get the guides on your Facebook group. That's how you do it. You go into your settings on the left here, and then you scroll down to it says added features, and that's how you get your group. Now, I just want to go back to the home, back to outside, and I just want to show you, if you don't know where to find the files, you just have to scroll across here where it says more, and there it says files. Now, everyone will have this, but sometimes you won't have a file uploaded. So when you click it, there is this option here to create a document inside of your Facebook group, or you can upload a file such as a PDF or a Word document. As you can see, I've got a document and I've got PDF. So these are quite cool. And when you click on it, they will download. So the people who are in your group, if you want to give them access to that, they can actually download it, which is quite cool. Okay, so the only other thing I wanted to pick up from you at the moment, let me just check if anyone's got any questions about that. Come visit. Yeah, I will definitely come visit, Gail. Is this option here. So when I went into Instagram, into my group, and I clicked to act as my business page, this new feature came up. So just wait for it to do its business. And what happens is that there is this what's known as admin assist over here. And what this is this is a new feature inside of your group. So if you're acting as your page, what it does is it helps you to manage your page. Now, it's quite interesting that Facebook have given this to you if you are a page in your group. Because look, it says here, decline incoming posts if they, and you can start the criteria. What kind of post should admin assist decline? So let's see what you can do with that. So if you click add, it will say what kind of post should admin assist decline. So get started with our preset. So you can decline spam posts. So decline incoming posts if posts contain certain keywords. Author doesn't have a profile picture. That's usually one. Post contains fewer than 10 words, etc. Posts from fake accounts, posts that violate the group rules, posts with profanity, posts based on the author's activities. Use all these sorts of things that you can actually set up. And I think what I'll do is I'll look into this more, and I'll do another video on this, because I think this is quite cool. This will really help you to manage your group. And I know that there's a group that I'm a member of here on Facebook that could really benefit from this, because I think this would really help them to stop getting so many unwanted posts put into their group. So we'll come back to this. So we will do another video on this one. So let's go back to home. Right, so now I'm going to swap over to my mobile phone. So I'm just going to set that up. So I'm going to put the music on a little bit. I'm going to take this one off. And while you listen to the nice music in the background, I am going to share my phone with you. So just bear with me a minute. Okay, let me get them up. Okay, perfect. So you should see my mobile phone up. As you can see, there's my phone. Okay, perfect. So if you have any questions about this one, we'll go over this. Let me just make sure I am on here. So don't forget to drop your questions in if you have any. And no question is too small or too silly. For those of you who know me, I'll answer anything. And don't think that if you've got a question that it's too silly to ask, because no question is too silly to ask, okay? So just bear that in mind. Okay, so this is what my group looks like on my mobile phone. Now, my group, I'm using an iPhone, the new iPhone. So it's an iPhone. So if you're using an Android, your phone might look a little bit different to this, but the functions should still be the same. Okay, so as you can see, I have this new manage button and invite button. So when I click the manage button, it's going to open up the admin area of my group when I am on the phone. Let me just make that a bit bigger. There we go. Cool. So you don't see me, but that's fine. And then what happens is down here, you can see that there's lots of different things. Now, I just want to show you where to get your URL. So when you want to share your group, remember we were talking about sharing groups. So when you want to share your group, you just click share group, and it gives you the options to share to Facebook. So this is when you can promote your group on your profile or on your Facebook business page, or in another group if you're allowed to do that. You could send it to somebody as a message. So, you know, I said about reaching out to people who you think might be suitable for your group. You can actually send it to them in a message, which is always really, really good. And then what you can do is you can click copy link. Now, this is the one I do. So when you copy link, it copies the link to your clipboard as such. And then you can use that link anywhere. So you can send them an email, you can send them a text, you can drop it into WhatsApp, you can add it into another post on a different social media platform. You know, maybe you might want to promote it on Twitter, or you might want to put it into your Instagram bio, you know, all sorts of different things you can do with that link. And it's up to you to distribute that link across to lots of different places. Okay, so then that's how to copy the link. So you just click copy link and you're done. So that's inside of there. And as you can see at the top, there's bits that you can review. And then there's bits of like where your members are, your activity log, your growth, and also your scheduled posts you can do from here. If you go to your settings, you've got your settings button and your own settings. And of course, you can leave your group. I wouldn't suggest that you leave your own group because that would not be very useful. Okay, so going back out of the manage buttons, if we go to the invite option, it automatically takes me to invite my page fans. Now, I just want to show you why it did that, because down the bottom here, I wonder if I can get this to work on here. I'm not sure I can get this to work. Let's see. Oh, look, it does work. How do I get that off now? Hang on a second. Okay, I've got this neat little pen now. I'm going to use that. So you see here on the screen, you see where I've put that circle. Whoops. That's because I'm acting as my page. So remember I said to you just now that you can act as your page or you can act as yourself. So even on your mobile, you act as your page or yourself. So to swap that over, all you have to do is click it, and then you can then choose between your profile or your page. So if I go back to my profile, it changes the layout again. It changes how people see you. So like here, I've got a little arrow now. It's really funny. Oh, here. Oh no, can I see that? No, I'll use this little pen. Here you see it's given me different members. It showed them differently. So what we're going to do now is I want to show you when you click invite now, this is where the magic happens. So on your mobile, this is a really good feature that I think everybody should look at and take note of, especially those of you who have got groups and you want to know how to grow them. Let me just have a quick sip of drink, sorry. So here what it does is it lets you invite your friends. So at the bottom here it's got search, so it's got all the people that you know. This is also really good. You see along the top it says groups in common. So groups in common, filter by friends who are in the same group as you. So you select the groups that you're in. So you choose another group that you're in. So maybe like, let me take Gail as an example. If Gail's in some other artist groups and she's also got some friends who she thinks might like to be in her group, you could choose the artist group from this list and then you type in your friend's name. And if they're in that group, you could invite them to your group. So that's a really cool feature that's on the mobile phone. Another one across here is those people who filter by friends who work at the same company as you. So if you have any people who work with you, then you might be able to get them on as well. Also, it's picked up my old school. So you can invite people from your school, from the local area. So local area is really good if you are running a networking group. So Nick, listen to this one because this might help you if you want to grow your Zoco networking. You could click on London, all the area around there, and invite people who you think might fit that group. And it keeps going on and on and on. So there's lots of different things that you can do. And of course, you have the share button. And again, you have that share option where you can share to Messenger, to links, etc. And then, of course, it's got the suggested where it pulls up all of your friends. So that's how you invite people on your mobile phone. Now, another thing to just think about on your mobile phone is that you have the option, you know, like you've got all the different ways. So just remember when you're using your mobile to make sure that you act as yourself or as your page. And then up the top here, just another thing to say, you've got your admin area up there as well, and it takes you to the same place as the new button at the front does. Now, also in your groups, you've got these tabs along here, and they will all show up on the mobile phone when you move them to the left and the right. Okay, I think that's it for looking at that. I've just got to close my little Doppler so I can control my screen. So I'm going to bring myself up. So that's the differences between your Facebook group on the desktop and your Facebook group on the mobile. So just quickly going over what we discussed today, we've looked at what the differences are on your Facebook group on your desktop and how you interact between your profile and your page. We've also looked at the mobile phone on how you can act between your profile and your page. And we've also looked at some of the different ways you can invite people to your group. We've also looked at how to make sure that your group is a social learning group so that you can have those all-important units and also those all-important guides and files and things like that. So that's really, really awesome. Okay, so I can see that you're all having a little chat in the comments, which is super, super awesome. So does anyone have any questions about anything that I've gone over today. Otherwise, I will close off the live. And if you're watching the replay, so while I wait to see if anyone's got any questions, if you're watching this video on the replay and you have any questions about Facebook groups, how to invite people, how to manage your group, how to schedule to your group, you know, some of the things that people want sometimes is like how to change the thumbnail on a video and things like that. So I did do that a couple of weeks ago about the video thumbnail. And actually, let me just, what I'll do is I might go in and have a little look at how that's standing at the moment. You can only do those sorts of things on the desktop. So if you can't find something that you're doing on the mobile, then go into the desktop and have a little look. Okay, so thanks very much for joining me today. I hope this has been useful to you. And don't forget that if you are watching me over on YouTube, to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. And other than that, I will see you all in my next live. Tomorrow, I'm doing a live at 12 o'clock with a cup of coffee. So if you do want to jump in and join me for my lunchtime live at 12, then do feel free to join me then. I know it might be a bit early for some of you. Okay, take care and I will see you soon. Bye for now.